So in this video, I'm going to do a rebuttal to a video I recently made called How to Love a Man, coming from the horse's mouth. So in that video, I talk about how to love a man, the things that men say, the things that men wanted, and now I'm going to just do a rebuttal on that. So one of the first things men wanted to feel loved was space and freedom. And I'm not downplaying what they say they wanted. There are great things they wanted. Freedom, space, respect, and appreciation or reassurance, right? And all of those are great. And I agree with all of them. However, sometimes things can go a little bit too far, right? And for space and freedom, sometimes when a man asks for space, it could be a red flag. And it could be really alarming to some women, right? Because there's a possibility that they could be thinking of ending the relationship when they ask for space and they ask for time. They could be assessing the relationship in their mind, which could result of like the relationship ending or something like that. So when a man asks for space and time, it could be alarming and frightening, right? Maybe after a few months or a few years, he just realized that he doesn't want to be with you, and he asks for space, but sometimes he might take space without asking. And he go and he think things through, and then without a discussion with you, thinking about things in his head. Some men don't really see the real reason why they're taking space, and some men just want to start taking space and start thinking about things in their head, right? And that could be alarming. Maybe you think that things are getting too serious. Maybe you are dating for a couple months, maybe you are committed, but things are getting too serious, and he might think, you know, you are not cut out for his lifestyle after a couple months, and he takes space. And this could be an extended period of time, and then the relationship could gradually end. You know, they trying to find a way to break up. So they start to distance themselves, and eventually maybe the woman would initiate the breakup, and that's probably what they wanted, right? So some men, they check out of the relationship silently after having like unresolved issues in their life, or unresolved issues within the relationship or with the woman, right? So they might keep the problems to themselves, and they keep their problems as a secret. You know, maybe they don't want to be together anymore, or for whatever reason. They might be unhappy in the relationship or whatever, and then they take time and they take space to cheat and to, I don't know, create a whole new other life with someone else, right? Instead of resolving issues as they come along within the relationship, right? They're not resolving issues as a team. They stay silent, and many weeks pass and months pass, and sometimes even years pass with unresolved issues, and they check out of the relationship and they start a new life, or they make an excuse to say they want space and time to cheat and to to create another life with somebody else, right? So when a man asks for space and time, it could be alarming. You know, maybe he wants to think about the future, with this woman that he's with, and to think about whether or not she is compatible with him. But he does that on his own, in his own mind, taking time and space, trying to figure that out in his own head, silently, without having a discussion, right? And I see just one of the major problems with men is that they want to work things out in their mind without their partner perspective, especially that deals with your relationship or with your partner, or any issue that will affect both of you, should have a discussion, right? Yes, you can take some time to think about things for yourself in your mind, but at some point you need to have a discussion to get the other person's perspective, right? Maybe some men, they take space without saying anything. They take space, they take time, they want to be free without saying anything, because maybe they're just afraid of a serious commitment, or they are scared of how much they like you, or they're scared of breakup. I don't know, many things could be going on with them, and the only way that he know to avoid getting hurt is to not get emotionally attached, right? He probably didn't count on loving you this much, and now he's aware of his emotion, and then they distance themselves without saying anything. That is why when men take time and distance, it's like a red flag sometimes, you know. Maybe some men, they want to take time and want to take space, and they're looking forward to break up with you. They're looking forward to break up with their partner. So he says, I need some space, I need a break, I need time. And sometimes it's a tactic, and of course he might not give a valid reason for his change of heart. He might not tell you, you know, he might tell you he want to focus on his needs, he want to focus on his own life. You know, this relationship is taking too much energy and time. I need to focus on my career, and before you know it, he's with another girl. He wants to like keep you as a backup plan in case that doesn't work, you know. He doesn't want to technically dump you so he could come back if things doesn't work, right? So sometimes it's a way to break up, or to get the opportunity to be with someone else, to see if that work and come back. So taking time and space and freedom, sometimes it's alarming, right? And another reason is just some men do not have time management. They take too much time with their friends. They take too much time to do their hobbies, and sometimes their friends are bad influences, and this causes problems in the relationship when you take too much time alone, or not having time management for work, friends, hobbies, right? And I know it's important for a male to have male friends. That is very important, because it's important for males to have male friends, so they could feel connected, so they could feel a sense of belonging, which could counteract feelings of loneliness and like isolation. You know, remember in the video that I made with talking about men and what they need to feel of, is that we realize that men are under a lot of stress. So it's good for their mental well-being having male friends and being with their friends. Lower the risk of depression, suicide, dropping out of school, and coping with the realities of life. So they need their male friends. They need to have someone who understands them, or a group that understands them other than their romantic partner. And some men, they are closer to their male friends than their romantic partner or their wife or whatever. And that is why it's important for males to have male friends, right? To help them cope with the realities of life, you know, to provide a perspective, a different perspective, or just guidance throughout their journey in their life, to deal with challenges in their life and help them to make choices and provide support and whatever about things that women do not understand, right? And I feel like if men have a better and a more long-lasting friendship than women, I always support men having male friends. It's very important. However, if a man gets adequate time for his male friends, he have adequate time for his hobbies, he have alone time, he have time to work long hours, and still asks for space and freedom, that's a red flag. That is a red flag, right? So that is why sometimes when men ask for space and freedom or time, it could be alarming. And sometimes they don't ask and they take it for themselves, right? It could be a red flag. They might want to break up, they might be thinking of ending relationship, whatever. Many things. So that is one. That's the other perspective, right? That's the counter perspective with time, and men needed time and space. Sometimes it goes on for too long, and there's unresolved issues, right? Anyways, moving on. Men said they want respect, right? On the other hand, some men disrespect women all the time, and they don't even know that they're doing it. And I'll give you some examples of how some men disrespect women, right? And the first one is some men, they don't even give their woman freedom and space, because some of them are insecure, right? Especially when they have trust issues, they have insecurities. They call 3 times a day, they're texting all day trying to figure out what you're doing. Some men are clingy and they're needy, and that's embarrassing. If you're a man, you're clingy and needy, you're calling 3 times a day, you're texting all day trying to know what you're doing and so on. That's like disrespect. You're not giving the woman space and time and freedom to do what she needs to do. Women also need time, and they need space, and they need freedom. They have their own goals, they have their own hobbies that they're doing, they have their own friends also, right? So that's where some men disrespect women too. And another way is some men, they openly flirt with other women, openly, right in front of your face, flirting with other women, knowing that they're in a relationship, and just like openly flirting with other women. That's disrespectful. Another way is that you're disrespectful is that you're constantly jealous, and you make a big deal out of small things. She like a picture of another man on Instagram or on Facebook, or just you're jealous of our platonic male friends. Any silly, stupid, unimportant, petty thing, you're jealous and you make it into a big deal. That's disrespectful. Another huge way some men are disrespectful is when you hurt the woman and you don't apologize. You hurt your partner, you do not say sorry. No accountability for actions. It's the same thing. Men and women have the same problems. Not taking accountability for the actions, not caring about the feelings of the other person, not caring about the relationship, not admitting that you make a mistake. Some men act like they didn't do anything wrong and continue on like nothing happened, and it's okay. Some men, they think women are too sensitive, and that then they just don't care about women's feelings. That's disrespect, right? Some men, another way some men are disrespectful is when they talk to you in a condescending way and call you names, right? They're actually showing the woman that she's like inferior, or that you're better than her, or that she's less important just because she's a woman, right? When you talk in a condescending way and call her names, so like you're dumb, or you're ugly, or you're stupid, or you're crazy, you're too sensitive, and so on, right? That's disrespect. Other ways of disrespect is when some men don't respect boundaries also. It's like the same thing we're having with men and women. Men don't respect boundaries, some women don't respect boundaries. But some men, when you say to them that a certain behavior is not acceptable, they still do it, right? You ask them to never yell at you, to not be mean, to not call you names, they still do it. You ask them to take your feelings into account and to not to flirt openly like that, and they still do it. You ask them to take responsibility for your actions, say sorry when you make a mistake, apologize, and they don't. You ask them, you have boundaries of people being honest and being truthful and faithful to you, and they don't respect that, right? They don't show respect for your perspective or your opinion, and they just disregard it just because you're a woman, right? Another way you are disrespectful as a man, some men, you just don't share like much of your life with your partner. You keep almost everything a secret. You could lie about your location for no reason. You're just sneaky about what you're doing. You're not giving details about different aspects of your life. You keep important information from her. You treat her like a stranger on the street. You're just not sharing your inner world, and that's disrespectful. To me, I think that's disrespect. You know, treating your partner like a stranger, hiding information, important information that you should share. Right? Another way some men are disrespectful is that you don't make the woman feel like you're gonna always be there for her, you know. She doesn't feel like you have her back, right? And it's like you don't show interest in the things that matter to her. You don't try to make her happy. You look unbothered about, you know, what is going on in her life. You look like you don't care about her goals or progression in life. She might ask you to do something for her, ask you to help with something, and you just like not take it as important. That's disrespect. That's disrespectful, right? These are ways that you might think that it's not disrespect, but it is, you know. Another way is that men could have bad behavior and they just put all the blame on the woman. Everything is her fault just because she's the woman and you feel like she's inferior. Another way, you keep interrupting when she's talking, right? And you're not actively listening. Some men, they don't actively listen. They're on their phone, they're talking to other people, they're answering an email, they take this call, they're in their mind thinking about other things, and they're not actively listening, and they talk over the woman, so the woman could feel like if she's like inferior. That's disrespect, right? Another way some men disrespect is that they disrespect women is that they don't help with anything. They don't help with household chores, they don't help with kids, they just neglect their relationship, they neglect their partner, they neglect their family. They don't help out in any way. That's disrespectful. Another way some men are disrespectful is that you give silent treatment, which is a form of emotional abuse, and you just think that you could hurt your partner in any way by just ignoring them. You know, don't make effort to resolve conflict, give silent treatment, and you do all of this, you have conflict building up, you're not talking to them, you are bitter, you could be whining, complaining, and then you still want to have sex like nothing happened. That's disrespect, and that's just like wrong. Another way you're disrespectful as a man, some men, is just you don't fulfill your promises, you don't fulfill your agreements. You know, if you don't do what you say you're going to do, that is so annoying, and it's like it creates this distrust, and you just look untrustworthy, and like you're not dependable. Like we cannot depend on you, and it's like you make false promises. You say you're going to do something and you don't do it. That's really disrespectful and annoying, right? And that is many ways that some men are disrespectful, and they don't know. You might not know that these things are disrespectful that I just mentioned. And the reason why some men are disrespectful is because they have no self-esteem, right? They have no self-esteem, and they had a neglectful experience in their life growing up with their parents or their caregiver, right? So they have this need for approval from others. They could pretend like they're perfect in public. You know, they're trying to make themselves feel good, they're trying to make themselves look good in public by pretending that they're this good person. And also it makes them feel powerful in the relationship, and deep down they are jealous, they feel insecure, they just like lack self-worth. Men have self-worth problems also. And sometimes if there's an issue in the relationship, they sulk a lot and they whine and they display this sadness and they're so upset more than you. just to get some emotional support, just to turn their partner into like an agreement, or just to make their partner settle and try to make things happy in the relationship, so they could get the benefit of the doubt, so they could be in control of the situation. And all of this come from low self-esteem and self-worth problems, right? So that's why you're disrespectful, right? And another reason why you're disrespectful as a man, some men, is that you think all women, or most women, are desperate for love and attention. And yes, some women are desperate for love and attention, but that is not a reason why you should be disrespectful. You know, that is, some men, they just think that they could treat women in any way they please, just because they believe that they're desperate for love, they're desperate for attention. So you do anything, right? And that is why you're disrespectful. Another reason why men are disrespectful, some men, is that you had bad experiences in the past with other women, and now you're rigid and you lack understanding, and you bring all your unwanted baggage from the past, and you also create ultimatums, as I mentioned in the video before talking about what men want. You also bring ultimatums to the relationship as well. And all of that is annoying, both to men and women. Ultimatums and bringing baggage from past relationships, and being rigid and lack understanding because of unresolved issues, or what your ex did to you, your exes did, or whatever. That's why you're disrespectful, and it's very annoying. Next reason why you're disrespectful is when you feel rejected and when you feel unwanted at any point in the relationship. Here I go, you start to use silent treatment. Men use silent treatment, men and women use silent treatment, and you start to take a lot of space in the relationship. You start to want to take time and be free, right? And you don't talk about problems. When you feel rejected, men feel rejected and men feel unwanted in their relationship, and they do not talk about it. They take time, they take space, they go walk long hours, they go hang out with their friends a long time, they go smoke a long time, drink a long time, they go do their hobbies a long, very, very long time, or they take time for themselves, alone time, extended period of time, because they feel rejected and because they feel unwanted in the relationship, and they're not going to bring up this problem. They're not going to bring up this issue. They take it in their head, you try to resolve it in their head, think about it, and so on. And you don't mention what is bothering you, and this creates distance in relationship, and then it creates conflict. And that's how you become disrespectful, because of not talking and keeping everything inside, right? So men also said they want to feel appreciated, and they want to be acknowledged, and they want reassurance, and that is great. The problem with asking for appreciation and acknowledgement and reassurance is that some men, they don't even know their love language. And we know we use the 5 love languages. If you have been watching my content, you know you can use the 5 love languages to reassure your partner, to show appreciation and acknowledgement. And to ask for something like that and not know your love language is like, you could see that's a problem. And you know the 5 love languages are physical touch, quality time, receiving gifts, words of affirmation, and acts of service. So you should know what is your love language. And when you know your love language, then you could explain to your partner, your woman or girlfriend or whatever, or wife, that this is your love language, and then she will know the proper way to reassure you, to appreciate you, and to acknowledge you, right? So that's the problem with wanting appreciation and reassurance and not knowing your love language, or not knowing the ways that you want to be loved. Some men, when I talk to them, they don't even know what they want from their partner, or what they want to gain from this relationship. You don't know. So that there's a problem, right? So the other problem is with wanting appreciation and reassurance is that you don't have an emotional vocabulary to express what you need from your partner. So therefore, some men, they act like you act like you only care about sex because you don't have this vocabulary to express your feelings or your emotions or to express your love in some other way. So you look surface level and you look like you only care about sex, right? So you act like sex is more important than emotional connection, and it's because some men are unaware of how to do nice things or how to treat a woman. So that's how you look. You look kind of like lacking emotional intelligence or something like that. Anyways, it's weird to ask for appreciation and reassurance when you have intimacy problems. You lack emotional development. That is the word I was looking for. So you're also like not open to indulge in your partner's passions and so on. So to want assurance and want acknowledgement and reassurance, you actually need to have like emotional development and resolve your intimacy problems and get a emotional vocabulary to express your feelings and your love in some other way other than having sex. So yeah, and you know that women also need space, they also need freedom, and they also need time to work on their goals. They have goals too, they have dreams too, they have their own friends, they have their family that they might want to take care of and spend time with. And some men, they isolate their women from their family and their friends and all of that, and that is not showing reassurance to your woman. If you want reassurance, you have to give reassurance to it's mutual. So you should do more things for her, help with chores, help with kids, I don't know, take out the garbage, take her on dates, and do all of these many things, and you will get it in return. So basically, women want to feel important, they want to feel desired, they want to feel loved, they want to feel like they are priority, and they want to be respected, right? So to get your freedom and space, and to get your respect, and to get your appreciation and reassurance, you kind of need to also do that too, right? So this was just a quick video to just do a rebuttal on how to love a man, and I'm not downplaying what men ask for. They are right, I agree with it. I just needed to give a counter perspective of when things go like too far, you know. So that was just my quick video. I just come on here to say that, and most likely I would make a video on what women want and how to love a woman or whatever. And thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.